Okay, hello everyone, Random Gamer Riven here. In today's weekday randomised gaming stream, and in today's stream we are going to be looking at Alien Breed. This is the 2013 HD update, because there were... Team 17 did a number of updated games. So there were updated versions of this, basically new games, done in the 2000, I think 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that sort of era. I think this maybe about 2009, 10 was effectively the Alien Breed redone trilogy. And I do actually have one of them on PS3, because they did one on the 360 and then they updated it again for the PS3 because a lot of people complained the 360 version wasn't that good. And then they did 2 follow-ups to it. They weren't bad. I'm just actually going to turn the sound down because the music is... And I can't turn the sound down. I have the music on 1. And it's pretty loud. So I can do 2 types of graphics. I can do the classic, or I can do the enhanced mode. I think I might show the classic first off. And slightly apologies for starting the stream a little bit late. But before I do that, I will say hello to 8-Bit SNK Boy. Welcome back as always to the stream. It's good to see you here today again. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Or will enjoy the stream. So, this is... I don't think too many people talk about it, but basically this was effectively, they did this initially as a mobile version, and they updated it for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita. What this is an update of the original game, complete with special edition. So it's the original Alien Breed, Special Edition, and anyone who knows Alien Breed Special Edition will also know the game only came out on Amiga. Yes, Team 17 were well known for producing high quality titles. Yeah, I mean, there's a little known fact. Alien Breed was seen as too hard, so they did Alien Breed Special Edition. I owned Alien Breed Special Edition originally. These days, I think we've got pretty much, among the randomised gaming team, I think we've pretty much got access to most of the Alien Breeds now, including the later ones like Tower Assault. I can't remember if we got the 3D ones. But Special Edition was notorious because it had a bug in which meant you couldn't complete the game until you patched it. And they actually had to issue a patch on Amiga Power to fix the game. And a few of the other magazines. So basically you get Alien Breed, so we can do the original Alien Breed campaign, and you get all 6 stages. You get Special Edition, which was an updated version, although they've got additional levels. Basically, it was the original game with expandedness on it. You get Convergence, which is an all-new expansion. You get Valiant, which is an all-new expansion. And you get Synergy, which is an all-new expansion. Now, as far as I'm aware, none of these levels were in Alien Breed Tower Assault or Alien Breed 2. And it would have been nice if they'd included some of the Alien Breed Tower Assault or Alien Breed 2 levels. That would have been nice. Tower Assault is an absolutely fantastic sort of almost open world thing. So Tower Assault is really, really good. But the original rating is really good. So I'm going to do the opening stage in original graphics first in Alien Breed. Now you do have to unlock the levels as you go. So I'll just let the intro play out. I'll just raise the music slightly. So for you guys, the music's not too loud. For me, it's incredibly loud. So let's go. 2191. And the whole galaxy stands unwittingly on the brink of war. Only the peacekeeper keeping duties of the interplanetary maintenance device and places the colonies that haven't blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm too slow reading that. There's a very British intro. Yep, the original Alien Breed Special Edition required a patch. There are actually a few Amiga games that they had to do patches for. I mean, notoriously, Jet Set Willy on the Spectrum was broken on release as well. Jumping from the craft, you make for the deck lift that will take you to the station proper. Your instruments indicate much movement on all decks. Proceed with caution. So clearly, I doubt very much that the inspiration for this is clearly Alien, and I doubt very much anyone will not miss the clear. So what I'll do this first level in the old school style graphics, and then I'll do it in the new school style graphics, so you see the difference. So that's actually an extra life, the smiley face, but as you can see, yep, and I mustn't run into the engine fuel or that kills me instantly. So Alien Breed is a top-down shooter, and in case you haven't guessed, it basically takes on the gameplay of Gauntlet. Now, this is the Amiga's visuals, although they've made a few adjustments. You've got a new HUD and stuff. There were a few slight changes. Although this is like the classic graphics, I don't think it's 100% the same as the original version. Although it has been a long time since I played the original version. At some point, I should dig out the Amiga for randomized gaming, but we've got the Amiga's hardware is very temperamental these days. So, as and when we do it. But basically, like Gauntlet, the enemies damage you by running into you, and you've basically got to shoot them before they run into you. So, the new control system does allow for twin-stick dual controls. However, in classic mode, you still get the original Amiga-style controls, where you can only shoot and run in the direction like if you're using a joystick. So you can't back away and shoot, you have to run forward. I think this game was originally intended to be almost totally like Gauntlet. So you can either use keys to open doors, or if you have enough ammo,
Player 1 requires first aid.
You can shoot them to blow them open. We've got some low health, so I need some health. Now, as you can see, the enemies do start to come in thick and fast. The actual updated version actually reduces the damage I noticed these guys take as well.
Player 1 requires first aid.
And yes, that classic voice sample, brilliant but very annoying. So basically, each mission you have to get to the deck left. But sometimes you have to complete objectives prior to getting to the deck lift. I think this stage I can just literally go to the deck lift.
Player 1 requires first aid.
Now, the original game, if you made a mistake, you were penalised. There is also a shop you can buy items from. Upgraded weapons. There was quite a few cheeky cheats as well originally. One of the most infamous ones, there's one, I still remember this, the cheat was called the Iraqis made the weapons, and if you did that, none of the weapons would work. Perhaps not in the best taste as a joke, but that was Team 17's humour for you. Well, Team 17, although the patch for Special Edition was on Amiga Power, Amiga Power and Team 17 later apparently had a bit of a falling out, supposedly. Although Retro Gamer initially claimed they did, and then claimed they didn't, but that's because Stuart Campbell, who wrote for Amiga Power, wrote on Retro Gamer as well. So I think there was some bad blood because there were insults in the games to Amiga Power, and there were some bad reviews. I'm aware of a few cases where reviewers have had punch-ups. But allegedly, I have to say it's all alleged because I don't think anyone's ever quite got to the bottom, and I doubt you'll get any response now. So basically, I've just exhausted all my ammo, so now the only way I can fight enemies is to run through them. Ooh, that's not good for my health.
Player 1 requires ammo. Player 1 requires first aid.
Yep. Fortunately, I can just go. I've got 2 lives, so I can make it. Oh, got some. But I need some ammo. I've wasted it. I'll save the keys. So, like.
Player 1 requires ammo. Player 1 requires first aid.
So there you go. The first stage just literally hit the lift. So this is actually what the Amiga's visuals looked like. They've slightly scaled them up a bit. Now this isn't a true rendition of the Amiga's version. There are a few changes to it. You'll notice the HUD is the modern HUD, not the older one. I think, is that the shop? Oh, you can access the shop from here. First aid. Loaded on the PlayStation 1. Hi, 2 Chicken Bone. Thanks for joining the stream again.
Player 1
Like, it does a
requires
bit.
ammo.
I mean, this would have been a precursor to. I think the downside of this is, yeah, you carry over the stats from when you go. So, depending how well you do on one stage, depending what your stats are on the next one. So, you see there, I've got next to no gunshots. There are security doors that you can shoot.
Player 1 requires ammo. Player 1 requires first aid.
Fortunately, you can log them. I'll jump into the newer view because although this classic view is quite nice, the control system, I do actually prefer the newer update. They have balanced the game. This one is definitely closer to the original version. The original game's,
Player 1 requires
it is an
ammo.
iconic Amiga game,
Player
and I
1
enjoyed it at the
requires
time.
first
Whether
aid.
I think I would still enjoy it as much, I'm not so sure now. Laser gates as well there. I think originally you had to actually find shops as well. I didn't think you can access the shop.
Player 1 requires ammo. Player 1 requires first aid.
I think you get a lot more ammo in the update as well. The original version you didn't get that much ammo, so... And I shouldn't have wasted those 2 keys.
Player 1 requires first aid.
Suffice to say there are some very nasty bosses as you go deeper in. So what's the objective on this mission? The initial priority to react to the core... to reactivate the core computer system. Now, do I need to reactivate the core computer system in this mission? Or do I need just to... Do you have the face... I mean...
Player 1 requires first aid.
It's fair to say this stage, I mean, this was made in 1991. These enemies are clearly the face huggers and the xenomorphs from the film, from Ridley Scott's Alien and Aliens. Well, James Cameron's Aliens, Ridley Scott's Alien. And I must admit, Ridley Scott should probably be taken aback and told, don't do any more Alien films, you've butchered the franchise. The last 2, Covenant and Prometheus, were pretty terrible. Prometheus was worse. No, Covenant was worse than Prometheus, though. At least Prometheus did try to do something interesting, but sort of ruined the backstory, and then Covenant just completely
Player 1 requires
ruined everything Prometheus had done and was just terrible, absolutely terrible, and needs completely rewriting and redoing. Hell, even I reckon I could write a better origin story than what they did.
danger. Player 1 requires ammo. Player 1 requires first aid. Warning, destruction imminent.
So I've now got to quickly find the exit when I have no idea where it is. And I can't afford the map either. It's one of the things this Alien Breed was quite bad for doing this, where it would set off the, like, blow the zone up without telling you where to go. So I've now got to try and find it before I get vaporized.
Warning, destruction imminent. Player 1 requires first aid.
Oh dear, time is up. Ridley Scott's doing one more to complete the prequel trilogy. Someone should tell him not to perhaps think about not doing any more Alien films and letting someone do a better prequel trilogy. So, should I redo Alien Breed or show you what the souped up version of Special Edition is? I think Shuttle Bay mainframe. Shuttle Bay 2, okay. The original, let's go for the original again, but this time with the... So here we go with the updated case visuals. So 2091, and the whole galaxy stands unwillingly on the brink of war. Only the peacekeepers' duties of the Interplanetary Corps maintain the violet, uneasy peace. The colonization, it had happened so fast. The breakthroughs and then the stampede. People rushed from the claustrophobic, densely populated Earth bases to the relative freedom of the stellar colonies. But the birth... Oh, it's gone too quick again. Their ship, the IPCC Miraculous. It was small, highly versatile, but lightly armoured, and then again they weren't exactly expecting much trouble, especially now they were heading back to Federation headquarters. The craft identified ideally suited 2 crew members, or at least... God, this is so long-winded to read. But you see, they've redone the visuals for this one. So that was the original graphics. It's nice that they've given you the original graphics and gameplay style, but it's not quite the true port of the original game I would like. So I kind of stick with the remake on this one. The HD visuals. Plus, if you do the HD visuals, you also get a twin stick controller. And there's a few more rebalances. Plus, this looks really nice. So as you can see... They've really done a very good job. This was actually done by Bloober Team, who are actually a Polish studio, I found out today. Now, Team 17 also did a re-release on the mobiles for...
Player 1 requires first aid.
Yeah, it does seem the point people are making weird mistakes, whereas in the earlier films, Alien and Aliens, it's much more... Even Alien 3 at least had a better premise.
Requires first aid.
Why do I need first aid? Yeah, there's a weird thing that carries on your state, so level on restart. So this should give me full health again. Okay, let's just do plan B. Let's reset it totally then. So yeah, there were a few bugs with this, like it... where it keeps it over your state. That was one of the annoyances with this. It didn't reset your state. So here we go, back to full health, 4 lives. So you've got shop mission briefing. Jump from the craft you make for the deck lift. That will take you to the station proper. Your instruments indicate much movement on all decks. Proceed with caution. I do like the music, it's always very suspenseful. I think a lot of this music is directly taken from the original Amiga's version as well. The Amiga's version had absolutely fantastic. So these updated aliens don't look quite as close to the Xenomorphs. You'll notice we've got additional movement as well. Everything's much cleaner. I do actually really like this. The other thing is we have twin stick controls now, so I will admit I do really like the twin stick controls in this version. It just suits it really, really well. It just makes it much more like a Gauntlet. And the enemies, they've actually rebalanced. The original game, I think, literally is running the original sort of ROM set almost. It's quite a meaty package. It would have been nice if they'd given you a level editor, actually, but... You have dynamic control of the shots as well, which you don't have in the original version, so... The aliens are never ending in this, they just constantly keep spawning. That was probably one of my annoyances. Yeah, I thought Prometheus was alright. It had some interesting ideas. It didn't quite execute them that well, but I think at least it had some nice concept. Because so many of the fans complained about it, they then made Covenant. Covenant is just a train wreck of a film that doesn't make any sense. I thought Covenant ended it as well. I'm surprised they're going to do a third film, because Covenant basically implied the robot was the one responsible for the Xenomorphs, which was just so rubbish. I mean, seriously, I could actually write a better... I have actually thought of a better prequel plot for how to actually do the Xenomorphs in a far more interesting way. So the fire doors you can turn on and off. Fire doors are quite helpful. You do need to shut them at certain points in the game, so some of the missions. So you've got the danger there. These things actually suck you towards them. Oh, I got greedy. I went for the gold. But in this one, I definitely prefer the updated visuals. Oh, I didn't need that pack. I've got 8 keys. Now, Team 17 also actually released a remake of Super Frog. Objective go here. I see. So yeah, you've got some additional script text. I do like the way they've done it. It just tidies up a few things, this version. So do I want to go any deeper, or should I just get... I'm probably going to save my ammo, actually. Yeah, there is an element of that. You could do... there is an element of explaining everything down to the last detail to such a degree that it just, you say, it takes out, that leaves a slight degree of, well, it could be this, it could be that. Yeah, fans tend to... I think the problem is because fans tend to do it, and often they don't... Fans generally tend to write very bad fan fiction. And I must admit, a lot of the sci-fi writing these days I would describe as fan fiction, like the new Star Wars films that are absolutely not great. I'm not a fan of any of them. They are not... more it takes away from them. I always got the impression that basically they were a brood, because the xenomorphs are basically a brood race that hibernate. I mean, they're actually very similar to like certain parasites that you actually get in the. Basically, they're clearly designed on certain parasites in this thing that actually live in and incubate within creatures like the zombie ants thing. Okay, so deck level 1, so we've got a... So that's obviously the exit, and I've got to take the fastest route to it this time. Ah, that's where I went wrong before. Coming down this, you've got speed ramps there. Come down. I'm going to ignore this side. I'm just going to concentrate on the objective in this mission. So basically, like Gauntlet, you get the basically the respawn points. Hi Nico, welcome. Thanks for joining the stream. I do actually have a gameplay video to go out in the next few days. I've recorded Tekken 5. Really, Sonic Forces. Yeah, I should actually get you to access. Yeah, Predators have also been really badly. The original 2 Predators were great. Actually, oddly enough, the video game Aliens vs Predator is probably better than most of the films, actually, in terms of concept. The Alien vs Predator film was pretty terrible, but it was Paul W. Anderson, so he's a terrible director. As many have said, his...
requires first aid.
He's one of those directors that I can't believe he's doing the new Monster Hunter film. He is a terrible director. But his films obviously make money, so he gets funding. Because people go and watch his terrible films because he... Oh, got killed. Because basically he's exploiting people's childhood. Nope, I don't want to shoot that door. Why waste a key on a door and ammo on a door that doesn't need to be opened? Doesn't rely. Yeah, it's because during the 70s and 60s you had all people like Philip K. Dick writing books. He was a fantastic author. Sci-Fi, Harlan Ellison, quite a few others sort of great. So I did actually see... The only Aliens film I've actually seen in the cinema was Alien vs Predator, which wasn't great. But it was definitely one of Paul Anderson's better films, at least. But I think the game was better, so I was just like, yeah. The Capcom game. The Capcom game actually works really well. You have the Predators constantly complaining about Earth and stuff. I think it's quite cool, because the Predators themselves aren't actually seen as a evil race. They just hunt for spores, so...
Danger.
So yeah, I can cheat a bit by doing this because it's widescreen. I think I can actually destroy them if I keep... Yep.
Warning. Destruction imminent.
Right, here goes. I've got to quickly...
Warning. Destruction imminent.
Down here, don't I? Yep.
Destruction imminent.
This way. Down here, I think. Yep. We get... Yeah, the last two Predator films were pretty terrible. They just didn't have any... I mean, Predators was basically... I just don't get why you had the Super Predator. It doesn't make sense. Then they did it again in the latest Predator one, which had Olivia Munn in. What was the original alien breed? The original alien breed was for Amiga.
Play along.
Yep.
Requires first aid.
I think my favourite Paul W.S. Anderson movie, unfortunately, is probably the terrible Mortal Kombat. At least you know at least it's remotely. Ironically, at least Mortal Kombat's actually better than the Street Fighter film. Although the Street Fighter film still makes Capcom a lot of.
Play along.
So is this a remake? Yes, this is effectively a HD update of the original game. It includes the original graphics, and we showed them a bit earlier, Nyko. So there are actually 360. There is an additional 360 trilogy that was an updated version of this game. I think I'm going to check the electronic hand map on this one. Okay, I should return to the... So I'll quickly show you the... So I've bought the electronic hand map. Right to detailed map of the level. So options, control... Creator of Worms. Yes, yes, this was actually made before Worms. This is one of the much better games they did before Worms. Okay, so I've bought the map. Ah, select, that's right. Okay, so... Yeah, I'm glad I bought the map on this stage. This was a horrible one before. So I think that's actually the original Amiga maps. So this does include the Amiga visuals, Nyko. We actually showed the first stage in the Amiga's version earlier. I'll show you, go to classic video mode later. There's basically the alien breed. So this was released in 2013. This is a HD update. This was originally released on mobile, but it's a HD update of the original Amiga games. There was a trilogy of alien breed games. It's effectively like a sequel on Xbox 360 that was again a twin stick shooter like this. This update includes the original graphics and controls, and also an updated version with twin stick controls that improves it. So the original controls didn't allow for 360 movement and shooting. You could only shoot in the direction you were facing. Okay, I think that might be my objective. So one of the... So I'm looking. So basically, as you see there, this is a bit of a labyrinth game. You do have to remember exactly where to go and what to pick up. There was the Alien Breed. There was Alien Breed Special Edition, as we've shown, and this game includes both of them. There was Alien Breed 2, and then there was also Alien Breed Tower Assault, which is a fantastic open world sort of follow-up. Actually, damage from... Open Warfare on DS with my friends at school. Okay, you're another slightly younger than me then, because I was actually I think it was about 13 or 14 when the original Worms released. So there are some the DS ones. Oh, so yeah, some of the Worms missions are. The original Worms had some great expansion packs, but some of the missions, I did Worms 3D, and some of the missions are really good fun. Others are just horrible to play. And just teeth-grindingly difficult. So in order to move around, I've got to look for up decks at this point, which is what's slightly irritating. This is one of those games that once you know the route to go, it's actually quite easy to play, but till you know the route. So these aliens have got blue eyes. They do look a bit different. Unfortunately, you can't, unlike Gauntlet, you can't destroy the spawn points, so they just keep on coming at you. And yeah, this game is just a complete reworking of Gauntlet for them. The Amiga, because by then Gauntlet was quite, I think by the Amiga days, the Gauntlet was a bit sort of danger vent. It basically run out of steam, but I think it's fair to say. Yeah, and visually I do like the remake visuals. They do look quite a bit snappier than the Amiga version visuals that you can use in this, although I'm not entirely sure. The Amiga version visuals are quite right, because I think they've blown them up a little bit. So I've got this. I remember this stage being just a horrible labyrinth. Where is my objective? Okay, I just realised we've got the objective arrow, so and that's telling me I need to go this way. So how do I get to that side? I've got to go up. I think I might be able to get around this way. I don't know. Let's give it a whirl. Can I? Oh, I can indeed climb up that. So in the original Amiga's version, it's fair to say...
Danger.
And we have the first boss fight. Now the bosses in this weren't that menacing. See there, it's just literally like a bug that moves around a bit. So yes, as soon as you do that, it's time to get out of here because the whole place is going to blow up again. Yeah, the way they've done this one, the leveling is very tricky to get your head around. But then it was, this is a cult Amiga game, so it had that sort of design to it. I'll see how far I get into Alien Breed, and then I'll jump into Alien Breed Special Edition, some of the newer stages as well, which are much easier. If you're a space station and every level you blow up... Oh, once you purchase the map you keep it, do you? Okay, that makes things a bit easier. So, as you see there, this one's a bit easier with the leveling because we don't have, but I've still got to find the objective. So keys, cash, and ammo, the main point of things. Again, if you don't, as I said before, if you don't want to spend cash, you can shoot. Now, if you're playing the updated version of this game, it's definitely you definitely get more ammo, and it's a lot easier to kill enemies with less shots. So it's definitely harder if you're playing the original classic version. There are definitely a few gameplay mechanic tweaks. But it's a bit annoying because it's not the true classic version of the game, so it's a bit of a weird halfway house. Oh, Alien Syndrome. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this was also a sort of homage to Alien Syndrome. That is a really good Sega game. I have actually got the PS2 remake they did for the PlayStation 1200 PS2 range, which wasn't bad. I can't go that way, so how do I actually get... I've got to go around the top path. And I've activated that switch. So this stage is definitely about figuring out where I need to go. So the objective isn't marked on the map. Let's go across first and see if the objective is this way. No, it's down. And I should look at that objective arrow, shouldn't I? So that way I can actually see where I need to go.
Player map requires first aid.
I still really enjoy Alien Syndrome. It's one of those games, I mean, I've got the Master System version. I really would like to finish it. But yeah, it is a very, very hard game. I remember just getting off the first level in Alien Syndrome in the arcade. First stage. And yes, I will say it now, the announcer's voice keep going, player 1 requires keys, player 1 requires ammo, player 1 requires first aid. Was in the Amiga's version, and it was just as annoying as it was in that.
Player 1 requires first aid.
So I know I need first aid, don't... Oh, okay, right. Let's go to the shop and buy some. You just, once you buy stuff in the shop, you don't have to buy it again, although you can't. So certain things you can't buy, item in inventory full. Extra life pack. And there we go, the additional weapons you can buy. I can nearly actually put, there's a lot of weapons. Yeah, so you not only get, so in this one we get the original Alien Breed weapons, the Alien Breed Special Edition weapons, so we can buy them all in this version. So I can play Alien Breed with the Alien Breed Special Edition weapons. Something you couldn't do in the original game. Because Alien Breed Special Edition was basically an enhanced version of the original Alien Breed, although there were a few they did add in. I think they redid all the stages. I think the initial complaint with Alien Breed was it was too short. Whereas Special Edition was too hard, not least because one of the stages couldn't be finished until you had patched the game.
Danger.
Now the objective market definitely makes it easier to find where you've got to go, because in the original Amiga's game you'd spend about an hour exploring the map till you realise where to go. I've not actually played the PS2, but I think I've got one of them. The PSP is actually a different game. Strangely, one was developed by Lawrence Holland, who did the X-Wing games, which is a bit of a weird one that his company did. The Alien Syndrome. The PSP one, I have to look at that. The PSP one's a different one to the PS2 one. Yeah, it's a weird. The Sega Ages 2500 series is a bit of a weird mix, because the first half of them were done by Sega Ages and I think D3. They basically set up a company to do them, but because they were so bad, Sega then took control of them to release them on their own, and those ones were all much better. So you have a weird mix. So right, so that arc one should be. Oh, I've shot myself. That's annoying. That laser gate one.
Warning. Destruction imminent.
Yeah, the first half of the Sega 2500 series, the 3D ones, are all terrible. And after a set point, M2 and Sega got involved, and then they completely turned it around. So the objective marker's telling me to go this way. Ah, big rooms, usually the guide, you've got to go. Fight. Ooh. Caution, oil, acid. Okay. That acid, some of the tiles are very unclear, but I suppose the Amiga's version they were just unclear. I've got to watch a few of those bits as well. Okay, we'll go down and around and then up. Okay, I'm not going through that door. Where is the other entry point? Okay, it's on the... Ooh, I've got to go up on... I've got to go all the way right, up and around to get into the room. This is the exit way. Okay, this is going to be a long stage. I've got to go down. So I need to go through here and then down. I'd like to try and get a better weapon, so... Only worth 100, those ones. Let's just explore. See, we've got plenty of time, then I might actually go and explore. I'm not exactly short on ammo, so let's get some cash. 8 key cards. I don't really want to use key cards unless I have to. So we'll waste that one. I quite like the remake they did of Sega Fancy Zone actually on it. I've got the remake of Fancy Zone. I quite enjoyed that one. I keep meaning to get the Panzer Dragoon remake as well, because that's not too bad. Also, in the Amiga's version, the weapon upgrades definitely feel like you need them. In this version, because they've souped up the base weapon, you don't feel like you really need the additional movement. It doesn't make. Okay, so I actually need to. Yep, I do need to go up that way. Yeah, but at least it's Panzer Dragoon, unlike the recent remake, which is just so many mistakes in it. The remake really has been such a disappointment. I can see why no one's bought it, because it's just terrible. It's a shame Sega are doing that, pitching their games out, and that studio that's got it, that pretty terrible Polish developer, is going to be doing remakes of House of the Dead 1 and 2 and Panzer Dragoon 2, so it's just a huge shame that Sega are allowing their games to be mishandled by a studio that don't understand the design behind them. Basically, it's the equivalent of giving Paul W.S. Anderson an absolute classic, iconic film to remake. Okay, we should be near the boss now.
Danger.
I think the bosses were probably the biggest letdown in this, because they really didn't do much other than sort of run around trying to whack you. Objective, press this. Well, we know what's going to happen when we press this, don't we?
Warning. Destruction imminent. Destruction imminent.
Level 5, Engineering. Yeah, they made the game so much easier as a result as well. It's just, it's one of those games that just. So I can buy ammo packs. I can buy an extra life if I need to. I will buy an extra life. I'd quite like to buy some of the weapons, but
Player 1 requires first aid.
so you buy one for. I'm pretty sure the shop in the original Amiga's version was only you had to go to set terminals to access it. And I've come the wrong way because I can't get to the boss room. Yeah, they did with Pandragoon. It's so much easier, in fact, because some of the bosses I noticed in Pandragoon, when I compared, I've actually done a playthrough on the channel of the remake and the original. Some of the bosses are actually missing some of their attacks, so a lot of the harder attacks that they do in the original are just missing in the remake. I mean, they knew it was bad when the Japanese absolutely slated it, and the Japanese rarely... All the Japanese fans were absolutely fuming over it, calling it kudos and or kosogi. And it doesn't actually help Western developers in the eyes of Japanese, because a lot of Japanese people tend to regard Western developers as substandard, which is something we do need to try and get a decent West. Yeah, this map is just all these maps are really big, horrible maze-like. So if you're not a fan of mazy maps, this is not the game. If you remember the Amiga special, I don't think I'm not sure you even got a map. So it literally was. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to get enough to buy another weapon. Objective go here. If it wasn't for that thing, I would definitely not know where I'm going. I think it's this boss and then it's exit and then we're done for the base game. And then I'll show no. I really enjoyed the original Pandragoon.
Warning, destruction imminent.
Yeah, I mean, even the hard, it's not that hard. And there we go, the initial alien breed. With a sigh of relief, the mother alien is dead. Her lair lies dormant, and the final termination of the alien breed is just a matter of moments away. Alien Breed 2 actually had you playing as another alien race. You had the humans and like two other characters from another alien race. I really liked Alien Breed 2 as it massively improved on the gameplay of the original game. So that's the base Alien Breed. For you Nico, I will actually show you the basic visuals again. Just show you, we have Alien Breed. We have the special edition version of Alien Breed on this collection, and it is available to buy on PSN still. This does work on the PS Vita as well, and my hair's getting trapped in my headphones. So take them off, so you get this one's actually, see, there's got 12 stages. Yeah, it's a bit weird with that. I don't like... So... It's always very difficult because... I mean, I do think Capcom are pandering to... There is too much, there's a little bit too much of... How do you say, people not taking offence to stuff, because there is... I mean, like, things like there you get comedy as well, people having to censor comedy, and it's like, well, no, comedy's meant to be... And people are meant to take offence to certain things. There are certain things I take offence to, but I don't complain, I just take offence to them. You just have to accept there are certain things, and it's a bit weird with the having to change. I know some of the cutscenes they censored in Devil May Cry 5, and I really don't like that. And I don't like the fact that they say, oh, what? Because what is a stereo? I mean, the thing is, this, I know you have stereotypes, but to actually say like, oh, we can't have large-chested female characters in games. I think they did that with Mortal Kombat, but it's okay to have buff males. Well, actually, if you take to look outside in the real world, there are large-chested women, there are small-chested women. There's a whole mix in between, and the same with guys. You get massive, huge guys pumped to the irons, and you get really slim guys. I mean, I'm really slim, so you rarely see characters my size and length. They're all muscly, beefy guys, and I do think there is too much pandering to censorship, and because actually that is censorship, and I dislike censorship because now I'm not going to say that there is everything's perfectly right. There are some stereotypes that should be removed from video games. There are a few stereotypes that are just very nasty, but there are some examples where often some people are just offended by something and actually know what they're saying, what they want removed is not as bad as what they're claiming it is. And I just generally don't like censorship in video games. For me, as someone who's a creative, anything that hampers someone's creativity is damaging the creative industry. As long as what you're doing is not creating harm, then it's all fine by me in terms of... I just want to see games made without censorship and to a high quality. That's my end goal, and encouraging the different elements of life. So I think it's okay to make a game one way and it's okay to make a game another way. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just making good quality products that people enjoy. Yeah, Haunting Grounds is one I could see a lot of people complaining about, and there's a few others. I mean, Duke Nukem gets a lot of flack, but to be honest, it just pokes. It's just a fun poke at that type of culture. I mean, no one takes Duke Nukem seriously. So here, Nyko, for you, this is the classic controls, so you actually get the gun marks, although I seem to recall you actually just had a flash fire in the original Amiga's version. They've slightly adjusted this. Well, yeah, but the thing with the SNK boys to actually, if you take, what you should do is you just take offence, and then that's just you. You take offence to a joke, or you take offence to something. That's just you. You don't then go on a forum and constantly complain and say, no, this must be censored, this must be removed because I took offence to it. A lot of people just need to take offence and basically move on. I mean, there are lots of things that you don't like, but I don't complain about them. I just said some people find them funny. I don't then go and complain. It's The Simpsons as well. Every character's a stereotype in that, but there were complaints about certain characters. But every character, I mean, should then I complain about the fact that I think some of the other characters are stereotypes? It's going a bit... It's going a bit crazy. Yeah, Alien Breed is a very good looking 92 game. I think this was the original shop terminal, this one here. I mean, I'd love to have some in-depth conversations about sort of games. So this is the special edition version. You see there are some changes to the level design. And now that I've bought the map, I actually have the map permanently. Ah, do I keep the... Oh, I've kept my gold, so I keep the weapons and everything. Need to get it banned or people sacked. Yeah, I agree. I do think there is too much of getting people banned. I mean, everyone makes mistakes, and that's something we actually need to say. You know, just because you make a one-day mistake doesn't mean you should be fired for it, or get a mob of. Basically, we've got a mob culture to some degree, which is worrying, because as the old adage goes, the mob is only as bright as the smartest person, and mob rule is not something that we want. Because I'm someone who wants a progressive future. I want the best for everyone, but it is concerning the way I do see some things. So we'll just have to hope things. Who knows? Maybe things will turn out for the better. Unfortunately, I don't want to get too political on this stream, as this is a gaming stream, and YouTube's not a big fan of people getting political as well. But there's a rough opinion of it. I'd love to do a more in-depth discussion on a lot of these issues, because I studied law and stuff, so I'm a proper sort of philosophical person. I kind of understand what the map says. Yeah, you get the map. Flashing white beeps. Actually understand the maps. This is the special edition one, so this is effectively this. It's not Alien Breed 2, but it was basically like an improved sequel. I want to even buy one of the better weapons, actually. I don't know if I die, whether I actually reset all my progress. I can't remember. The Alien Breed Special Edition did actually, I think, make the game slightly easier. Team 17 got a bit of flack and did actually do a special edition of quite a few of their games, because initially some of their Amiga games, they used to sound really good, they used to look really good, and they used to play really well, but they used to be way too hard.
Player 1 requires first aid.
They... To discuss it, yeah. Yeah, you have to be a bit careful, because I noticed the live stream the bot is quite a bit precarious on, so the YouTube live stream bot that monitors is quite strict, I've noticed. Fortunately, I think our Tekken Tag video has been fully reinstated after it was strangely inadvertently taken down, but it's now been restored, so I think it's all good. I've not had confirmation from YouTube, but I think it's back up. But it's like I did a Bomb Man stream today, and for some reason that gave me yellow monetization on it. I know I'll be able to appeal it, and it will get give me green monetization, but there are a few slightly odd quirks where I know the YouTube, I think, is erring on the side of caution now for anything, certainly with live streams, where I suppose to be careful, because there are a lot of bad actors who will put some not so good content out. Hell, I've seen a few videos where I look at the thumbnail and think that thumbnail is very unpleasant. Okay, I think the maintenance area, yeah, there's quite a lot in the maintenance area, but it's I've actually got to go through there, haven't I? I should say the graphics have been slightly adjusted from this, although this is the original version. I think they've zoomed in and slightly altered them. And yeah, the gun's different. In the original Special Breed, Alien Breed Special Edition, the gun would just fire like a little machine gun burst. Yeah, I think if I was to say one final point, I do think people have stopped talking and listening to one another, and there does need to be, because people disagree on things, it's only natural. And often some people will completely disregard someone just because you disagree their opinion, but actually often if you chat to people, often they come to their opinion perhaps similar reasons to you, just in slightly way around. Often people that you may initially disagree with, you can actually talk round to, and you know that you can convince them that they've made a mistake or something perhaps, but there's often underlying reasons for everyone's opinion on things, and I think a lot of people are too easy to dismiss other people's opinion without hearing the full background story, because ultimately what happens in your life governs your opinion on things, and we don't all have the same experience, and unfortunately not everyone has a good start in life, so I'll leave it there for that. Oh, no, so Nico wasn't here for yesterday's stream, and Cher hasn't been here for today's stream. So I should say, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, as always, hit that like button. I noticed I got a couple people chatting away. We've only got one like. To respect their opinion. Yeah, it's about respecting their opinion and understanding. It's like a while back, me and one of the guys when I was actually working up in Scotland, I said to him about Lost in Translation and the film Lost in Translation, and I think it's a terrible film because literally nothing happens in it. But he said, I actually really liked it because it was quite like a somber, sort of relaxed film, nothing much happened in it. So I respected that he enjoyed it because nothing happened in it. I hated it because nothing happened in it, but it's two varying different opinions. We both understood the plot of the film was effectively about nothing, but so that's a contrasting opinion but I understood his opinion, so I wasn't going to suddenly say he was wrong. I understood what his opinion was coming from. So I don't think I get the markers in this one. I think in this is the stage I've got to activate all the terminals. I can't remember what stage was glitched in the Amiga's version. I think it was quite a late one, which is why they missed the bug. Actually, I'm going to quit out and go back to the updated HD side. I do like the page got the old 3-inch floppy disk there as well. No, I didn't mean to pick this stage again. I picked Convergence, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go. Go back to the nice. This version really is a really good version of the game, and I was quite surprised when it came out because it didn't get much fanfare. Now, Super Frog, which was another Team 17 game, also got an update. That was done by a different studio. That wasn't as good. It's not bad, but it wasn't as good. But Super Frog strangely got pulled, I think because Team 17 might have had some disagreement with the developers. So Super Frog is no longer available, but this version of Alien Breed is still. This one works on the Vita as well. Yeah, no, I guess just talking about Lost in Translation there, 8-bit SNK boy. I can't say it's a film I would ever personally watch again, but I appreciate some people really enjoyed it. I've never actually seen The Breakfast Club. Quite a lot of those films from that era don't really interest me that much. But then I've never been a fan of what you'd call kitchen sink drama content, so although I do enjoy sci-fi films, I'm not actually a huge fan of the Alien franchise, truth be known. I've just never been a big fan of horror. Well, I've seen a few of the Alien films and I did enjoy them. from the CD TV yet. It did, as I said, it did actually get a updated PS3 version. I'm lucky enough I actually bought it on release because it got pulled. It wasn't available for very long before they pulled it because I think they had a bit of a disagreement with the developers. I think it got quite negative reviews as well. It's not as good as this update of Alien Breed's really good. The Super Frog update is not so good. I mean, I could do that tomorrow, the Super Frog update. I think I might have made a mistake there. I think I want the one nearest to the exit to blow up last. So the special edition, Alien Breed special edition levels definitely a bit more. You'll notice that you have more stuff to do in Alien Breed special edition. It's just a better game. Oh, I can actually buy a better weapon. Okay, which weapon should I buy, guys? What's your pick? So we have High Impact Astro, Sterling Multimanic, Rax Firebox, Robson Plasma Gun, Dalton Arc Flames, Broadhurst DJ Twinfire, Inter-Arc Laser Gun, Red Ox Missile Launcher, Interim E-Bomb Flamethrower, Plasma Shotgun, Flame Bolt Thrower, Twin EMG. What's your pick? Any plans on playing the new Worms game? Which Worms game would that be? Because I don't think I've played any of them in a long time. Not even sure if I've owned any of the... Well, the last one, I picked up a few on the 360, but I haven't played any recently. I'll try the High Impact. Okay, triangle changes weapons, so there we go. Oh, bouncy lasers, just what I want. Okay, that's really helpful as a weapon. I've got 23 keys, so I can afford to use a few keys. I should have looked, so I can't go into that area. Okay. So what do you guys think of the look of Alien Breed out of interest, seeing as you guys are watching it? I'm interested to see what you guys actually think, because I don't often ask what you guys think from what you see. Is this the type of game you might buy? Is this the type of game you might play? And out of interest, did any of you guys know much about the Alien Breed series? I know 8BS and KB. I didn't know if 2Chickbone or Nike had actually ever heard of Alien Breed. Arena-based shooting game. Okay, no, I haven't actually heard of Worms Rumble. I'll have a look at it, 2Chickbones. I have a distinct suspicion this is probably one of those ports. Near Autonoma, yeah. I did pick up Near Autonoma on the PS4. I've got the original Near, and I did pick up Autonoma. I did recently play it, and when I played it, I did really enjoy the start to it. I just haven't actually got around to playing it. I know it's a game everyone's been raving about, and I will get around to it at some point. But it's okay. I'm gonna take another hit before I need the first aid kit. I do like this, the way they've updated the system so it's a little bit RPG-ish with how you can buy stuff and carry over. That I do like in this version. I'm not sure the live system needed to be totally brought over. I think it's probably just giving you a set number of lives per each stage and reset when you die. Like it says Yeah, I mean, this is an old... This originally released on the Commodore Amiga in 91, and then did the special edition in 92, so... But I suppose none of you guys were Amiga owners, probably. I know 8-Bit said he was an Atari ST, so he should be my sworn rival from that era. Actually, only one guy... I only had one friend who actually had an Atari ST. They didn't do that well, the Atari STs. They weren't bad hardware though, but I think they just got outclassed by Commodore stuff. Because this is one of those games that I think needs a bit more love. I think if it got more love, it would... This is definitely one of those games I think it's actually a really good port, but I think these days one of the issues that even when I've been speaking to retro devs is a lot of them basically are finding, because there's so many games being released these days, their games just aren't doing that well. And a lot of games that should be doing better than what they are so I do think the Alien Breed Special Edition levels are a bit betterly structured than the ones from Alien Breed. Oh, you're a Master System. You're actually technically ahead of me in consoles, because although I was so I started on the ZX Spectrum and then moved up to the Commodore Amiga. I didn't actually get a console. My first ever console was a Super Nintendo, so hence why I'm still a big SNES fan. But basically, because we did the Amiga, we didn't move to consoles for years and years. It was only because the Amiga was sort of failing Commodore. I mean, Commodore should have cleaned up. Yeah, I think there was one guy I know at Atari. So it was always like your one friend had an Atari. Certainly in the UK, everyone else would have Amigas. Oh, I've got one life left. I need to be careful.
Destruction imminent.
An unofficial NES. Yeah, I've seen a few of those. There are quite a few unofficial NES sort of. There's a couple of like unofficial NESs from like the late 80s and 90s, and some of them were really, really good. So this is the stage where I've got to shut all the fire doors, which is one I remember. I think Special Edition had a better variety of missions, that I will say. Yeah, I'm glad I bought the map. That definitely makes things a bit easier. Ooh, this is a dead end. Yeah, there's no point in actually going this way. So that fire door is the already sealed one. I mean, this update actually said it's just a really well put together version. Yeah, those rebounding lasers, 2 for the price of 1 I got there. Is it worth me spending some ammo on a couple of chips? Why not? Yeah, no, I can imagine that not everyone did get a chance to play consoles or get a chance to own them. I know a few people who didn't actually get a chance to own them at the time, so... So let's go this way. Let's go this way. Oh, some cash there. Do I want to grab that? I'm just trying to grab the cash this stage, so I can buy some of the weapons. Although I don't want to shoot. We've got 26 keys. So. Yeah, because you're from Poland, aren't you, Nico? So how was my experience in the UK being a relatively wealthy country is we generally had all the mod cons, but I certainly don't know how it was in sort of a lot of the Europe, sort of eastern side of Europe. So it wasn't until the PS1. So I imagine there's next to nothing in terms of Saturn where you. I mean, did they actually? I mean, did they sell things like the Saturn or the sort of NES or SNES in Poland? So I've got to be a bit careful. I have to shut the fire doors before on the run. On the reverse order, so I want to shut that to run unofficial copies. Yeah, because I did know there were so many like fake sort of alternative SNES, reproduction SNES cartridge devices. I was surprised how many sort of writing devices there were from the 90s. A bit like always surprised me when I saw that there was you got modems for the ZX Spectrum and stuff. Yeah, I must admit, Nintendo had a really bad relationship with Europe because the Famicom wasn't that successful in Europe, and I think they were always a bit bitter over that. So they treated Europe like it was just Germany for a long time. So even in the UK, we missed out on a lot of stuff. But we still had the games released there, but there were quite a few games. Whereas if you were in Germany, every game... Yeah, I've never known anyone who's actually owned a Neo Geo, at least originally. I've met a few people afterwards, but I've never actually met anyone who owned them originally at the time, because they were just... You'd look at... I remember... So, in the UK games magazines, you used to get adverts for Neo Geo stuff. Oh, the Saturn was actually the first officially licensed... How well did it fare, though, in Poland, the Saturn, or didn't it do that well? Because strangely, I know the Saturn did quite well in Portugal. But yeah, the Neo Geo, I just remember you used to get magazines, and they used to have like the prices like £500, £600, £700, and you just used to look at it and think, how much? Who can afford this? Who wants to afford this? I mean, it was just eye-watering stuff for the Neo Geo. Ooh, I've got to be a bit careful, don't lose no life. Yeah, I mean, ironically, the Sega Saturn was actually the first Sega console I ever bought. So, well, at the time, my dad got for us. That was a Christmas present one year, many moons ago. Although sadly our original Saturn died. We still got it, but it's picked up some fault along the way, so... Yeah, I think the Saturn to me is still Sega's best console. I appreciate the Mega Drive may have done better, but I think the Saturn still... Even the Dreamcast is just not... The Saturn just has such a good lineup of games. The Dreamcast always had a bit of a lacking selection of titles. I mean, it had the graphics, and it had the nice VMUs, but there were just a few things just not right with the Dreamcast. Started selling sodas, nice. How expensive was the Saturn, can I ask, in Poland? Because in the UK, I think that was one of the problems when it released. It was £400, which was, at the time, very, very expensive. In fact, it remained, up until the newest consoles, one of the most expensive consoles in the UK. I think only the 3DO was more expensive. And maybe things like certain hardware versions of the Amiga, which would cost you nearly sort of £1,000. Yeah, I think Sega's biggest problem with the Saturn was the starting price point was ridiculously high. Pretty much you couldn't have like 2 salaries. Oh, yeah. Also too expensive. Yeah, the games weren't too badly priced on the Saturn in the UK, but it was the hardware costs for the get point. The PlayStation, I think, was $250 or $300, whereas the Saturn was $400, which from the get-go caused you problems because you had... So that fire door is now closed. Because, of course, there were a lot of people that had said that there's a lot of people who couldn't afford it or wouldn't want to pay that kind of money for what was effectively an entertainment system. And then you had to buy the games for it, which were... which is why I dislike the price of the PS5 and the... because I think they're too expensive, and I think they're over... I don't think much of the new consoles, because I think their hardware just isn't powerful enough to justify the additional cost. They're sort of minor updates to me. So, that's sealed. So I've just got to do one more fire door, and then that should be it.
Destruction imminent.
Thank you, Chicken. Sorry, yeah, I turned off the mic for a minute. I've been talking for about 5 minutes, and now just thank you for pointing that out. My apologies. Yeah, I'd muted the mic for a second. So yeah, apologies. I was just saying about how I'd actually picked up Christmas Nights with sorry about how Christmas Nights was the last game I originally got my original Christmas '96 money along with me and one of my other family member, which we got, and then the other family member complained about it initially, that these days goes what a wonderful game Nights was. No, I had turned off my mic inadvertently because I was briefly out of the room. Yes, thank you for pointing that out to Chicken Bone. If I suddenly go quiet for a little while and don't say I'm going quiet, then it probably means I've got the mic on mute. HQ says there's something big down there. Terminate whatever you find and make your way to Deck 6. But yes, hello to Gamba Morales. I probably realised I probably muted when I was saying hi to him. And bye-bye to Nike. Thanks for being on screen as always there. Oh, after this I can buy another weapon. So what do we want to buy? Shop. What weapon do we want? Yeah, I just remember really enjoying... I'm going to take the flamethrower. Let's take one of the Dalton Arc Flame. I just remember playing it, just the music, everything was just such a wonderful game. But yeah, it was the last game I actually got my original Christmas money. One of the last of sort of the games we got where we had the massive hiatus till our birthday where we couldn't buy any more games. I think my only big regret with the Saturn is there's a few games we missed out on that we could have got earlier and then end up having to pay quite a bit more on them to get them later. Certainly in the UK ones, but we've now got access to a full UK set of titles, or PAL titles, including the Dragon Ball Z The Legend, which was not released. Oh, I better be careful with those. Which was not released in the UK, it was only released in Portugal and France. Yeah, the Knights Analog's always been a very nice one. This game is going to make me go the very long way round to this stage. Okay, let's make the long trudge round to the boss room. Yeah, I think the chain system in Night is fantastic. It's a real shame about Journey into Dream, the follow-up. That really is not the game it should have been, because the chain system was just so wonderful in Night. You know, the fact you could, once you got used to it, you could rapidly just keep the chains going, and there's a couple of chains where you can literally get 999 links if you keep it going, although it gets harder and harder. I think the time you keep the links gets less and less as the higher you get. But the first snow stage with the train, I always used to love that stage. Yeah, the only thing we were looking to pick up are... We've got most of the variants as well. There's a few box variants we'd like, and the FIFA variants, although none of one's actually that inspired on picking them up. So if you don't know 8bits and K-Boy, FIFA 98 had different footballers on the cover, game disc and manual, pending where it was released. So I think Beckham was on the UK one, and there was a different one in the German one, different one in the French one, different one in the Spanish one. There's basically relevant footballers, which you kind of expect. It was actually on the disc, the manual and the cover, so it was actually changed for all three. So you have to be careful you don't get a mismatched version as well. Because it seems to be the #1 time you go into game or a other retailer and find that they give you a mismatched version. It's worse than going to buy an original version, getting platinum version, or buying a platinum version and getting an original disc. Yeah, I mean the Dragon Ball Z games, it is pretty terrible, isn't it? It's sort of bad, it's good. Yeah, Christmas. I think Christmas Nights is a bit easy because there's actually that whole challenge mode in Christmas Nights. And Christmas Nights is such a wonderful package. I really wish there were more Christmas editions of games available. I mean, it was actually based on the fact they did Yuri Nakai saw Christmas Lemming, so they decided to do a Nights version of it. The thing is, do you think games like that will be made in this modern era at present? Because it feels a bit... The veteran people aren't making original games. You've got all like professional developers making... generally games that are sort of... I mean, even Epic that have done some very good games. I mean, they're just making Fortnite, and... You've got other developers... Bungie making loot shooters, and Bungie could do much better than Destiny, I feel. And
Danger.
I think this actually bosses, I think it's actually taken from the first game, or the standard part of it. So I see that. Okay, so now here's the part I've got to get out in double quick time. Fortunately, as I know that there's a quicker way through. Generally, there's a quick way. If you know which you're going, if you paid attention to the routes, there's always a quicker way to the exit than the way going back the way you came.
Destruction imminent.
But yeah, hopefully you're all enjoying this. Again, just smash that like button if you do enjoy the videos. I think Alien Breed, I really enjoyed this. This might be more a game for, how do you say, Amiga fans, and I think original people. I think a lot of people who are sort of new to the genre, so... I have a feeling it might have been this stage that was the bugged one. I can't remember which stage was bugged in the original Amiga's version. One of them, there was some... There are still some very good modern games, but you're definitely missing... I think the problem is the indie developers should fill the void, but a lot of them are still getting to know the ropes. I think there's too many games that are a bit too tailored for indie sort of theme stuff, because the worstest thing with a lot of indie games is, as Nico mentioned the other day, often use like the weird indie, the graphics art styles without really understanding. By the way, those fire doors in the original version you couldn't turn on and off, as I remember. So there's a couple of times where you could non-prog yourself. But yeah, I mean, I think often the indie developers still learning the ropes. Some cling too much to pastiching original games rather than making their own original titles. Which is something, when I get to make, I'm seriously considering sitting down and actually making my own game. But yeah, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. I have recently finished playing through that, and that was a really, really good game. Admittedly, it does slightly fall into the cliche that they are doing an update of an original game, and I do think some indie games, even they made a few mistakes with the franchise in that, but it is a very, very good Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. I was actually playing Time Spinner the other day. That's really good as well. I really started to like that. That's like a Metroidvania puzzle adventure. Okay, I might have been this level. I think this is the infamous duck level. There's one level you have to go through a duct. And that was the one that had the non-progression in it. The other problem with indie games at the minute is I don't know how well Wonder Monster Boy did, because they released that full price, and initially I don't think that sold very well because it was so expensive. It was like 40 quid. It's a £20 game, that's for sure. It's definitely worth £20. It took me like 25 hours to finish, but I wouldn't say it's a £40 game by any stretch of the imagination. And overpricing your game is something that can really badly affect sales from the get-go. Yeah, there are too many sandbox open world shooters that are just boring. I think they're very bland design. 10 years ago, yeah. We've had various phases. We've gone through in the sort of 8-bit era. We had the platform, 8-bit and 16-bit era. It was the platform craze. Then we had the FPS craze. I think initially in the 32-bit era we had anything 3D. Then we had the FPS craze, and now we're in the sandbox craze, because those type of games are really easy to make and quite lazily designed, and the problem is that those games don't tend to have much content as a result. They tend to not have much narrative content and not good level design. So the big problem we do actually face, and as a developer myself, is the budgets of games to make really good. I mean, RPGs have really struggled because the budgets you need to make high quality RPGs now is just too expensive. Until we can get a time where we can basically, you almost need like a pre-built art library of just having textures and everything built in already. You can get pre-built assets, but I don't think they're quite to the extent that we need yet. This is the thing with this room. You see there, that would cost you 2 keys, and you would get nothing for opening that door. Ooh. No, I need to go up. But yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed, the jokes everyone used to say, because I'm always surprised they got sequels, because that was such a dull, uninteresting franchise. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just not, it's not top tier. They just lack the quality. Yeah, it's quite a bit cheaper these days. I think I paid about £15 for Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom, which is well worth it at that price. It is a fantastic game. I'm a huge Wonder Boy fan. I only bought Sega Master System to buy all the Wonder Boy games. I'm that type of fan. In fact, the only game I don't have a retail copy of is the SG-1000 one. There's not a Wonder Boy game I don't own. I have them all on Game Gear, I have them all on Master System, I have them all on Mega Drive. I have the collection on PS2. It's a brand new game, Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom. It does reference, there's a few homages. It's basically built on the Dragon Trap Wonder Boy 5 format, but it's a totally new game. There are some odd quirks with it, like Peegaloo turns up in it. Well, he shouldn't really be there because it's Monster World 4, but that's kind of a little bit of the story. But yeah, it's a really good game. There's lots of new puzzles, new tricks. They basically employ the change of form system again, but they use it to a lot more depth. The downside at the start, you get stuck in the pig form, which doesn't take too long to get out of, but the pig form doesn't do anything that interesting initially. So let's get some ammo, because those 3 doors will cost me less. I have to buy another weapon in a minute. But there are some harks back to the earlier games. A couple of the characters actually cameo in it from the earlier games. It's an incredibly well put together game. I highly recommend it. How much is Wonder Boy? I mean, I got Wonder Boy. How much is it on the Sega Master System these days? You've piqued my interest. I mean, I didn't pay. I think I paid about £10 for it, because all the Master System games used to be like 10 quid, and I think they should still be, because they're not. I mean, I've actually got the NES version, which is the basically. Just interested. The one I don't have is Alex Kidd in Miracle World on the Master System, because we got a Master System 1. Yeah, I see what you mean. There's a lot of incomplete copies drifting around, isn't there? Oh yeah, there's not many of the original Wonder Boy. They're not that expensive, but they're not complete. They're all cart only. I think one box without a manual on eBay at the minute. And you've got a bidding one of the first 2, although that one looks like it's not in great shape. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most Master System games shouldn't be more than about £10. What I don't like is there's a lot of people upping the prices. So, I really dislike that. There's another. Another large alien lurks in the premises. So Alien Breed Special Edition makes you actually go around a lot of the rooms before you can actually get to the bosses, unlike the original Alien Breed. Just going to check this is the right way. Yeah, Wonder Boy should be. I did pay. I think I paid about 40 quid for the NES version of Adventure Island, which is just literally Wonder Boy with just the alternative name. Because Adventure Island, hilariously, I have all the PC Engine games as well on various formats, but none of them are. I haven't got any. I don't have a PC Engine. I'd quite like to get one, but it's just out of my. It's one of those things that it's just like, yeah, probably not format. I've got enough formats to concentrate on, so there are certain formats. I think, yeah, I'm not a veteran of the PC Engine, so I will leave that one be. So I hope you're all enjoying the stream. One last reminder, if you're enjoying it, to smash that like button. Very much appreciated. I'm going to wrap up in the not too distant future. In fact, I'll wrap up after this stage. Yeah, I think what happened was, because Sega did license, if you did allow like games like Fantasy Zone to be released on the NES. Initially, they weren't gonna, I think, do hardware, and then they changed their mind and decided they would wouldn't allow their games to be released. So because of the way Wonder Boy works, the company Westone had the rights to the game, or the owner, Rizui Net. I'm going to pronounce his name. Risui, I just can't. Basically the two of the co-creators both own the rights to Wonder Boy, so yes, that's the one, the Wonder Boy Writer Skateboard. That's the original Wonder Boy, because it's a very different game to the later ones. It's also one of the hardest arcade games ever made if you want to get the best ending. So there's the lift, but I've got to defeat the boss before I can get to the lift. I'm going to buy another weapon. What should we go for? I do quite like the way they've done the shop in this Sterling. Let's go for the Sterling triple barrel. Oh wow, this is definitely going to gobble up the... Oh, the route to the exit's quite a way off from the. But I used to play the original Wonder Boy loads in arcade games, so. In fact, the reason I got the Master System version was to actually get, because up until that point, despite a huge Wonder Boy fan, sort of the early to mid 2000s, I still hadn't actually owned a copy of the original Wonder Boy, and it was starting to... Okay, here we go. Let's get the rocket launcher out. that going to blow? Probably going to blow up in seconds, this weapon, I imagine. Yep. Good night, Vienna. Okay, right.
Destruction imminent.
Oh my word. Oh, I've got to take the long way round. Right, I need to be really careful here. So you have to take the long way round. This is... This is going to be tricky. So... Yep, open the door, open the door. Right, so... It's got to go down this way. Yeah, so I've got to... Right guys, a heads up, once I finish this level I will be finishing the stream tonight as it's about to hit midnight.
Destruction imminent.
The fire door there. Yep, I'm going the right way. All the doors are open. It should be... No. Yes, I want to go this way. I want to go this way.
Destruction imminent.
Go here. I want to go back through here. I've got 48 seconds. This is a race against time. No, I don't want to do that. I want to go this way. Probably should have taken a slightly shortcut way. We've got 33 seconds. Reminds me of like Time Crisis. Oh yeah, Pac-Land. Yeah, I'm sure I've been to a few arcades where Pac-Land was literally... Yeah, Pac-Land was one of those really hard games as well, wasn't it? I've actually got that in one of the collections. It's one of those games that I always want to finish, and I just haven't got around to it. Pac-Land. I must admit, guiltily, I haven't actually finished Wonder Boy. I did a run on it, got to the 8th world, and then discovered if you die on the last world, it throws you, because you can't continue on the last world, it throws you back to the beginning. And literally, it took me like 5 hours to get there because it's so hard, and I was just... Now, this I think might have been the mission that was bugged in the original game version of this version. You had the weird ducts you had to go through, and basically one of the ducts you were supposed to go through, you couldn't go through. Okay, that's going to be a wrap from me. Let's quit out for now. Yes, I've got played through quite a section of it. What did I get to? Got to level 8. It's actually a really nice version. I mean, it's not that expensive. It is still available for PlayStation Vita and PS3. So I do recommend downloading if you like twin-stick shooters. That's always my pleasure, 8-bit SNK boy. You're very much welcome. It's always great to have people coming back to the stream. So thank you guys for watching. I wouldn't be doing this without you. Yeah, I'm going to finish there, guys. I will be finishing there. I'm just gonna quickly just see what trophies I get. No, leaderboards. I think I'm gonna check the trophies in here. Let's see how many I get. Stop warm up, never get it back. Who's the boss? Saving Am. 40 seconds out. Like every pick on the level. Cool. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you as always for being here. Thank you to 8-bit SNK Boy. Thank you to Chicken Bone. Thank you for coming back. And thank you to Gambler's Morales. Thank you, Nico, as well, who's also on the stream. And to someone else. thank you guys. I'm going to finish the stream there. Have a good, as always, I will wish you a good night, a good evening, good afternoon, or a good morning wherever you are in the world. I've been your host for this randomised gaming stream, Random Gamer Riven. Thank you again to all my viewers. Thank you very much. I'm not sure what I'll stream tomorrow. I could stream Super Frog, but I don't think Super Frog's well. Just stick the original. I don't think Super Frog is a good enough game to stream. But I think I'll have a gander and do something on the PS3. So thank you guys. It has been a pleasure as always. I will be back tomorrow to stream again. Thank you all for watching. I will see you tomorrow. As always, do hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, although I expect everyone left on it has already hit that like button. And as always, if you're new to the channel and like our content, please do consider subscribing it. So this has been Alien Breed on the PlayStation 3. It was released in 2013. It was developed by Bloober team, and the original game was developed by Team 17, and this was published by Team 17. It's available now in the PS3 or PS Vita PSN store. They have actually removed the web store now, so you have to access it via either the PS3 console itself or the PS Vita console, but you can still buy this. And I highly recommend grabbing it if you're a fan of the original game while it's still available in the shop. It is very good. This was also released on mobile as well, but I'm not sure what format's on mobile. But thank you all. Have a good night, everyone, and I'll be back tomorrow for another stream. See you all.